We are good. I didn't hear it. Okay. All right. So again, number one, who's got the answer for number one? Tell me. Is it just 6? So you're telling me the only thing I can take the absolute value of and get 6 is 6, right? What did you think?
X equals 6.
What else? Tell me.
X equals 6.
What?
Negative 6.
What?
Negative.
So what's the answer? Tell them. Yes, could be either one. So now we write X could equal, now watch me, plus or minus 6. All right, when something can have the same answer, instead of writing 6, X equals negative 6, we just write it as X equals plus or minus 6. Now, why is that true? Because what's the absolute value of 6? What's the absolute value of negative 6? There you have it, guys. All right, that's how easy this is. All right, Josh, you with me? All right, what about number 3, Josh? So the absolute value of negative 2 is negative 2. Is that what you're saying? Right, so what's the answer to this one? Absolute value of 2 is negative 2. I'm asking you, what's the answer to number 3? The absolute value of what is negative 2? Tell him.
So you have to put the negative outside that.
No, tell him. So you're telling me the absolute value of 2 equals 2.
Is it no solution?
Right. Why is it no solution?
Because if it's like whatever this line they call it, if it's in there.
That would be absolute value. It's in the title of the, yeah, the absolute value of a number is always positive. So can an absolute value equal a negative? No, because distance can't be negative. Distance cannot be negative. So whenever you say an absolute value is equal to a negative, you're happy because now it's just what? No solution. All right, it's no solution. Tell me.
Then how could number 1 be also positive and negative?
Well, what's the absolute value of 6? What's the absolute value of negative 6?
6.
Right, but no matter how hard you try, when you tell me the absolute value of negative 2, that's going to be positive 2. There's no way to make it negative. You agree with that? All right, here we go. Let's check out number 5. All right. Now we have a problem. The absolute value of what is 7? 7, right? So now I want everybody to take a look and listen to what I'm saying. Does everybody agree what's inside the absolute value could be 7, or what's inside the absolute value could be what? Negative 7. That's correct. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm saying when I take the absolute value of 7, I get 7. And when I take the absolute value of negative 7, I get 7. So now here is the technique to solve an absolute value. You write what's inside the absolute value sign, and you set it equal to that number. And then you do the same exact thing, and you set it equal to what? Negative 7. And now you solve that. So X could either be what?
It could be positive 11 or negative 3.
Or X could equal negative 3. That is the correct answer. So when you're solving an absolute value, you set what's inside the absolute value equal to 7. And then you set what's inside the absolute value equal to negative 7. And that's how you're going to solve these things. All right. Anybody have any issues with that? All right. Now I'm going to continue. It gets a little harder as we go down the page. All right. So here we go. So now somebody set up number 7 for me. Jackson, how do I set up 7? Quickly. Say it loud and proud. Let's go. 3. What? Equals. And then you write come on, 3x minus 9 equals what? Someone tell him. Negative 27. Those of you guys who are listening, you know, you write 27 and you write negative 27. Now, why is this annoying? Because every time there are how many equations? 2. All right, so how many problems are there on this paper? How many? 30 what? 36. So how many equations do you have to solve? 72. All right, that's why kids don't like this. All right, but you're better at equations now. What?
I'm confused because
No, the rule is you set it equal to the number and you set it equal to the opposite of that number. Every single time, there's no confusion. Now we solve it, right? Are you with me? That's the rule. There's no confusion on the rule. That's what you have to do to solve the problem. You with me? Now we're going to solve. What do I do to both sides? Add 9. What's 27 plus 9? 36 divided by 3, 12. Now, if all you're doing is writing down my answers, obviously that's not working for you. So now 3x equals what? Negative 18. So x equals negative 6. So those of you guys who want to do better, what happens if I plug a 12 in for x? What am I going to get? The final answer, what's going to be? No. What? Positive 27. And what happens if I were to plug in negative 6? What's my final answer going to be? It's going to be what? Yes, but then when you take the absolute value, it's going to be 27. Right? So if you don't believe me, all you do is do 3 times 12 is 36. 36 minus 9 is 27. Absolute value of 27 is 27. If I plug in negative 6, negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. Negative 18 minus 9 is negative 27. Absolute value of negative 27 is 27. Good. Look, if you're not doing what I'm doing, you're probably doing it what?
Wrong.
You're probably doing it wrong. This is how it has to be done. It's not optional. All right, it's not optional. There is no better way. If there was a better way, guess what? I would show you. I promise you. This is the best way. You have to do it this way. There's no alternative. So when I get down to number 9, everybody's going to be able to write number 9 because everyone in here is listening.
so do you set it up? Is it just like those?
Yes, now you're solving just like we did before. All right, so I'm on number 9. All right, so here we go. Brennan, how do I set this up? Chop, chop. There you have it. Now I know Brennan's finally listening. Very good. Now we have to solve this. All right. Negative d equals. Now what do I have to do to both sides? Minus 7 from both sides. So negative d equals negative 6. Now this is where some of you guys, I can help you if you would let me. All right, you're just solving the equations. All right, now negative variable just means change the signs. So now I have d equals what? 6. That's it. Brendan, how is that? You good? All right, now next one, subtract 7. So negative d equals negative 8. Do you have to write that step in there? No, some of you guys are great at it already. You don't need to write that step. Some people, Jackson, you have to write the step in there because you don't know yet. All right, if you don't know yet, you need to show yourself that step. Then negative d means to do what to the signs? Change the sign. So d equals 8. What?
Why did you go from negative d equals negative 6 to d?
What do you think I did? What's the rule for negative variables? Shh. You can look at that as if it was -1. You can divide by -1 if you want. You can multiply by -1. However you want to look at it. Or you can just listen to me say, if the variable is negative, that means change the sign. True? So you're good with D equals 8 too now, right? What?
Why did you get rid of the line thing?
What did I do? What did you say?
Why did you get rid of the line thing?
Those are absolute value signs. Come on, speak like a mathematician.
Why did you get rid of them? For both?
Because that's how you solve an absolute value equation. That's the rule. I can't, there's some things I can teach you, right? But these are the rules. If you want to solve an absolute value, this is the rule. Just like eventually I'm going to say x squared. How do we solve an x squared? I'm going to teach you how to do that. Square roots. All right. There's lots of things. These are what you do to solve this type of equation. All right. Here we go. Number 11. Uh-oh. We have a little problem here because the absolute value is not isolated. So can anybody tell me what I have to do first, probably? What?
Let's do +4.
Yes, you have to add 4 to both sides. You must isolate the absolute value first. You must isolate the absolute value first. That's the new step now. So do I really have to put +4 and +4 here? Because if you don't know what 1 + 4 is, we're in a little bit of trouble. Does everybody agree with that? Right? So absolute value of x equals 5. Now, of course, if you're sitting there going, why does 1 + 4 equal 5? I will be happy to tell you. Anybody have any questions with that? Now, it's a simple one. We can just say the answer is x equals what? Or, so we can write it as, there you go. Some of you are now finally deciding after 2 weeks, stop the shenanigans, focus on what I'm telling you, write the work down. If you don't understand what you're saying, you raise your hand and we talk about it. Right, Eddie? What?
Why sometimes is it plus and minus?
If they're different. I can't put plus or minus 6 and 8. The answers are different. Here, the answers are 5 and -5. So if you want, you can write x equals 5, x equals -5, or you can combine it to plus or minus 5. Here we go. 13. All right. Now we got a big problem here, Allie. What am I doing?
You had 9.
Add 9. Thank you. 3, absolute value of x equals 21. Now what I need to do, Allie?
Divide by
You are amazing. Absolute value of x equals 7. So what's the answer, Allie?
plus or minus.
You are amazing. See what happens. Concentrate. Plus or minus 7. Beautiful work. Thank you for that. Good.
Why are you not doing like the second way? Like in the
I don't understand your talking today.
But in the beginning, how we had like
It's a different type of problem. I said you must isolate the absolute value. Is the absolute value isolated? No, it's not. So you must, that's a rule. You must isolate the absolute value. That's a rule. Good? All right, here we go. Let's talk more math. All right. So Jolie, what do I have to do?
plus the 1,
+1. So what does that equal?
16.
Good. Now what?
42 divided by 4.
You are amazing.
So
Now we are right back where we were at the beginning of the lesson. We're right back. It's isolated. All right. So now what are the equations? Jolie, go.
um,
Yes, come on, faster. Write that for me. What is that?
x plus 3,
Equals.
4,
And then you write x minus 3 equals.
negative.
That's how simple it is. That's all there is to it. And if you are good at solving equations, now it's what? Now it's easy. If you're horrible at solving equations, now it's impossible. What? What's 16 divided by 4? All right, good question. That's the way to get involved, because you know I'm talking to parents, right? Anybody who's not working where they should be, they're getting a phone call. All right, so you might as well do it in class so I don't have to be calling. Everybody with me on that? And now I have what? X equals and X equals. We are great. That's how simple. That's all it is. Looks complicated. All right. And what happens if I plug 7 in all the way up here? The final answer is going to be a what? If I plug -1, what's my final answer going to be? Now, if we want, we could check our work, but since I'm always what? Right. We don't have to check. All right. That's a fact. All right. That's a fact. That's not fake news. That is not fake news. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun with the next one. So what do I need to do first? Go ahead.
Alright. So you add 1, that's -20,
Why am I adding one, please?
would be -19.
Yeah, I know you're just giving me a hard time today.
Yeah,
This says +1.
yeah.
So how do I get rid of plus?
Oh, -1. Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, you were just, I see. All right, I'm gonna let you continue this charade. Go.
Alright,
Now what do I do?
you divide by 7,
Okay,
that'd be -3.
now what's my answer?
So it could be 9 minus.
No.
Wait,
Yeah, you think you're smart. You're gonna write it all out, equals and equals, when you should be saying what?
Would it be,
What?
9?
No,
You just take away the 9.
no. Ashley always knows. What is the answer, Ashley? Is not what I was looking for, Ashley.
divide by 9.
No, Maya, tell him.
You
Is not an answer.
minus
No. Why?
I don't know.
Stop. You just said no solution because there was nothing else. No, tell him.
Since it's the little,
Little.
the absolute
Oh, 'cause it's
value can't be a
negative.
negative.
Thank you. Evan is on fire today. No solution. Can the absolute value be equal to a negative? On your test, you're going to think you're doing so well. You're going to write 9 minus 4x equals 3. 9 minus 4x equals -3. All the while I am what? Laughing. You should be saying it's no solution. An absolute value cannot equal a negative. What?
Do you like even have to write this? Sorry.
No, yes, you do, because sometimes there's a negative here. Then it would become a positive.
Oh.
You're right. You see what I'm saying? Yes. If you can look at it and say, write no solution. What?
Which one is the negative?
What is
-3.
the 3 would be negative, because that symbol in front of it right there, that's a negative.
He said, okay, the absolute value cannot be negative, but I thought the absolute value was the thing in the line.
No, the absolute value is distance. So when somebody says absolute value, they're referring about distance, right?
The
So,
whole thing is absolute value?
so the, what's inside, right, can be negative, right? Because when you take the absolute value of it, it will become what? But when you take the absolute value of something, when will it be negative? That's right, never. It cannot be negative.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got to get busy. So what do I have to do first here? Do what? Yes, thank you. 2x minus 9 equals 21. Okay, set up the equations. Misha, go.
2x minus 9 equals 21. 2x minus 9 equals -21.
Look, that's how simple. That's it. That's all there is. Now you solve the equations. And if you did good on the quiz, solving the equations is easy. Now's the time I'm trying to help you, though. If you didn't do good on the quiz, you need some help. All right. So now I do what to both sides?
Add 9.
So 2x equals,
30.
and now
Oh.
what do I do? So how do I solve that?
Yeah.
How do I undo multiplication?
That.
Right. Thank you. That's it. Now I go to the other side. Adding 9. So 2x equals negative 12. Dividing by 2. X equals negative 6. What?
So when you wrote, with the absolute value, 2x minus 9 equals 21,
That's right.
and then you wrote 2x minus 9 equals 21, but like, doesn't the absolute value turn it positive?
Look, I'm telling you, if I replace what's inside with 21, will that be a good answer? Does the absolute value of 21 equal 21?
Yeah,
Does the absolute value of negative 21 equal 21?
yeah.
That's why this equation can equal negative 21, or the equation can equal positive 21.
Okay.
Because when I take the absolute value of it, it will become 21. All right, keep going. All right, here we go. This is the one that we were talking about. Some people look at this and say it's automatically no solution, and that's not true because of this guy right there. First thing we have to do is subtract 3. So I have negative absolute value 6x plus 7 equals negative 43. Now the negative in front means, what do I do to this? Yes, it becomes 43. So now I have absolute value of 6x plus 7 equals 43. Yes, Maya, tell me.
Why don't you just like solve it and then you have to just add that?
Because I want the right answer. That's why. I'm always searching for the right answer. And if you do it that way, you're gonna get a wrong answer. That's all. All right, simple. I want the right answer. Josh, you working? You got this? All right. Now we write down 6x plus 7 equals 43. 6x plus 7 equals negative 43. Subtracting 7. 6x equals 36. X equals what? 6. Subtracting 7. 6x equals negative 50. Now notice I'm not writing negative 50 over 6 because I know that's going to do what? Reduce. If you need to write negative 50 over 6 because you can't do the reducing, go ahead, write it, but then know it's the same as negative 25 thirds. You're allowed to get fractions. All right. Any objections to that? All right, let's see if we can make it a little bit harder. All right, this one's kind of a pain. First thing I got to do is subtract 5. And again, I'm just showing you, you don't have to write that. So I have 8 absolute value, negative 10x minus 2 equals 96. Absolute value of negative 10x minus 2 equals 12. What?
Could you just add 5 and 8 and then reduce?
If you want the wrong answer, then go ahead and do that. All right. But this is what though, Allie? This is multiplication, right? What you said is 5 plus 8x, you would say 13x. You see what I'm saying, right? So you cannot do that. And remember what I'm telling you, I'm giving some of you a hard time, but I want you to see the logic, right? She asked a good question. Everyone accidentally adds the 5 and the 8 together. They're forgetting that that is held together with what? Multiplication. You can't add them, right? Did you have something, Molly? Okay. So now go, tell me, I'm sorry. You good or not? All right, so now we just write negative 10x minus 2 equals 12. Negative 10x minus 2 equals negative 12. Adding 2, negative 10x equals 14. X equals negative 7/5. All right, I feel bad sometimes because people are having trouble with fractions. So I'm going to write it as negative 14 over 10. Right, is everybody with me on that? And now we'll do the other one. We add 2, negative 10x equals negative 10. So x equals 1. Jackson, how you doing? What?
So did you do 8 to the 96 divided by 8 to the
Yeah, 96 divided by 8 is 12, right? Do you agree? Yes. Go, Luca. You good?
Yeah.
All right. Jolie, how am I doing? Eddie, how am I doing? Misha? Good? All right, let's knock out the next one. All right, I got a nice fraction here for you. 2/3 x minus 5 equals 7. 2/3 x minus 5 equals -7. Now, come on, adding 5, that's just what? 7 plus 5 today is 12. Now we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, right? So when I multiply by the reciprocal, that's 3/2, right? Okay, what's 12 times 3 divided by 2? How much? 18, because we do the 12 divided by 2 first. All right. Now I add 5, what do I get? Now what's the reciprocal? So x equals -3. Well, it's not hard. It's really not that hard. You with me? Avery, you good? Come on now, tell me. Just say, hey, please slow down a little bit. Avery, are you good with 25? All right. What? Good for you.
So if it's this type of problem, it can't be that solution if it's negative.
Right. If this, what it's equal to is positive, it's going to have solutions. It just can't equal a negative.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Next. So now if I divide by 8, does that change the negative? So is there a solution? Right? The solution is there is no solution. I know what you were thinking. But what? If divide that by 8. So now you have the absolute value of 2x minus 5 equals -1/4. Yes, I know. You're having one of the moments. I agree. Here we go. What do I have to do on number 29? Yep. 3 minus x absolute value equals, today 12 minus 5 is 7. Now we have 3 minus x equals 7. 3 minus x equals -7. Okay, 30 more seconds. Again, subtracting 3, -x equals 4. If the variable is negative, that just means change the sign. X equals -4. Subtract 3, -x equals -10. So x equals 10. Hopefully you're feeling a little better. All right. Here we go. Who said something? What?
On that one, would you,
Yeah. No, I subtracted 3, kiddo. I came down here and I did -3 and -3. Cancels. Right?
yeah, oh,
Right? You happy now? All right, here we go. Let's check out 32. Now, again, not a big deal. X over 4 divided by 2 equals 7. X plus 4 over 2 equals what? -7. So what do I do first? Multiply by 2. And now what? So how do I finish solving this? So x equals, over here, x plus 4 equals, right? And then x equals Negative 18. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at 33. Now, 33, a lot of people make the mistake and say it's a no solution, but there's a negative hidden right here. You got to be careful. So now negative absolute value 4x plus 1 equals negative 20. Does everybody see that? And the absolute value means change the sign. I mean, the negative in front of the absolute value means change the sign. So now I have absolute value 4x plus 1 equals 20. So we write 4x plus 1 equals 20. 4x plus 1 equals negative 20. Four x equals what? Help me, guys. 4x equals 19. So x equals, thank you, 19 over 4. Next equation, 4x equals negative 21. So x equals, thank you, whoever said that. Beautiful. Okay. Yes. What? Good. Well, if we're going to get to that in a minute. 35. Now, the last one that's hard is because it's a what? Fraction. Come on, please. Let's do the fractions. All right. Take your time. Learn the fractions. All right. So we can use a calculator. All right. Here we go. 2/3 x minus 1/2 equals 1/6. 2/3 x minus 1/2 equals negative 1/6. Now, when I add 1/2, how many sixes in 1/2? 3 6. So 2/3 x equals 4/6, which reduces to 2/3, multiplied by the reciprocal, x equals 1. All right. Adding 3 6 makes it 2 6, which reduces to 1/3, multiplied by the reciprocal, 3 over 2, x equals 1/2. All right, your job is the evens. When you walk in the door, I'm just collecting the work. All right, then I'll be having a conversation about getting work finished or not finished. All right, great job today, guys. Great job.